And this is when you start to change who you are in order to please other people. This is all in the Toltec tradition, which are the shamans of the Mayan culture.
First off, philosophy is a confession.
Philosophy is a confession. Go love somebody that you don't like. Hey, what's up, knowledge seekers? Thanks for clicking on the link. WTJ Knowledge Drops back with another reaction video for you. More on that in a second. If you're new, welcome. If you're not, welcome back. If you are a returning knowledge nomad, as usual, there's not enough time to express my gratitude for your support. Thank you so very much. If you are new, welcome. My name is Wesley Travis Johnson. This is my channel, WTJ Knowledge Drops, where spirituality meets science. And I try to bridge the gap between Eastern and Western philosophy. We just call it philosophy over here. We call ourselves knowledge nomads. It kind of has turned into a spiritual journey for me, and hopefully for you as well. I do try to sprinkle in a little knowledge as a stroke survivor that has left my left side paralyzed, and escaping opiate addiction. I've been through a few things. If I can't tell you what to do, I can definitely tell you what not to do. Anyways, I hope you have a good time, learn something, decide to stick around, subscribe. If you do, remember to hit the bell with all notifications so you can stay in the loop and never miss a drop. Alright, this is the fourth part of my Katha Upanishad reaction series. And this is the mantras. This is mantras 9 through 11. As usual, once the video starts, if you back out, your device will explode. So please stay till the end. Also, I have a little bit more information on my upcoming live question and answer session. You'll get that at the end. So please stay to the end. Alright, let's get into it. Mantras 9 through 11 in the story of the boy and his father. I'm ready to get to the end of the story. Hopefully it's here. Probably not, though. I think there was like 25 parts to this. So this is number 4, so we're probably just scratching the surface. Shut up, Wes. Let's get it.
Om Sahana Vavatu Sahano Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. May the Lord protect us both, teacher and the taught, together by revealing knowledge. May He protect us both by giving us the results of knowledge. May we attain vigor together. Let our study be invigorating. May we not cavil at each other. Om, peace, peace.
Peace, love.
Peace. So the story goes, we've been reading in Katha Upanishad, very famous and ancient story of the little boy Nachiketa who went to the house of death and asked him the question about the Atman. So that's the setting. So it started off with we are introduced to the boy Nachiketa and his father Vajasravasa. The Vajasravasa, this Vedic Brahmin, he was performing a big fire ritual with the objective of going to heaven. Then his son noticed that he was not giving away the gifts as he was supposed to, and he was keeping the good stuff for himself and giving away the not so good stuff. And then Nachiketa asks him, to whom do you want to give me? And persists in asking him. So his father, he sees it as impertinence. But Nachiketa wants to point out that one should hold on to the truth. In this world and in the next also, it is truth that matters, values that matter. And basically, his father is just cheating himself, cheating the society by not doing what he was supposed to do.
It's a very wise kid. They chose a good route picking somebody that hasn't been jaded by the world. Kids are full of love and laughter and play. That's all they know. Very wise kid beyond his years, obviously. He's calling his dad out for giving away his half-dead cows. So yeah, the kid kept bugging his dad, and he's like, "Who are you gonna give me away to?" And the dad was like, "I'll give you away to death if you don't shut your ass up." Pardon my language. That's not exactly what happened, but basically.
But his father sees it as impertinence and says, "I'll give you to death. Like, go to the house of death." And so Nachiketa goes to the house of death, and we know that death, Yamaraja, the Lord of Death, was away on tour or something, and he was not at home.
Yeah, he went to go find death, and he was on tour, man. That's pretty funny in my eyes. You're like trying to go see death, and he can't even take your meeting. That's probably a pretty good sign.
He comes back after 3 days, and Nachiketa has not eaten anything, and he's just sitting there waiting for Yamaraja to come back, the Lord of Death to come back. So immediately when he arrives, we don't know who, because those voices are not mentioned, but somebody tells him. So maybe his wife, maybe his counselors or his minions or whoever it is, they tell him that, so this guest has come to your house. This little Brahmin boy has come to your house. He enters your house like fire. So the fire imagery is evocative, because fire can do a lot good to us and can burn down our house also. So fire gives us illumination, and fire gives us warmth. But fire, when it is not used properly, can sort of burn everything to ashes. Similarly, so this guest has come, this esteemed guest has come to your house. By his blessings, by his good wishes, you may attain to knowledge, illumination. You may attain to goodness in life. Or by neglecting him, it's very bad karma. So that was said. Go to him and attend him immediately. Carry to him water for washing his feet and giving him water to drink and food to eat and so on, and greet him. So we might imagine these things are fill in the blanks. And the commentator Shankaracharya helps us here, sub-commentators help us here. The Upanishad itself does not give us all these details. We may imagine that the Lord of Death, Yamaraja, now goes to the boy who is still waiting outside the door. And again, there is something that the Upanishad tells us. We are not sure who is saying this. What is the harm if you neglect your duty towards a guest? So there is a verse about this, a mantra, 8th mantra. So the story is going on. See, in these mantras, it's not exactly Vedanta. We are not talking about the ultimate reality. We are not talking about pure consciousness, existence, bliss. We're not talking about the highest goal of human life. We are not talking about meditation. But the values are being taught here, which are foundational to Vedanta. So that's important. What's the harm if the Lord of Death, or indeed anybody, neglects a guest and makes a guest suffer? 8th mantra. Asha pratikshe sangatam sunritam ishtapurte putra pashungscha sarvan etad bringte purushasya yasya nashnan vasati brahmano grihe. If in anyone's house a Brahmin guest abides without food, that Brahmana destroys hope and expectation, the results of holy association and sweet discourse, sacrifices and charities, sons and cattle, all these of the man of little intelligence. So that's really bad karma. Huh? All of these are lost if the guest is neglected. Little more detail here. The words used, asha, pratiksha, asha and pratiksha. So these are the actually names used in India, girls' names, Asha. I don't know if anybody's named Pratiksha. Are they named Pratiksha? Asha, definitely. So what do they mean? The difference between Asha and Pratiksha is, and Shankaracharya helps us out here. So he gives these nice little notes. So if anything, you're not very sure whether you're going to get it, something you want, something you're not very sure you're going to get it, but you're hoping that you'll get it. So there's this, maybe for example, somebody you haven't met in ages, you're sort of hoping that one of these days that person will turn up. You don't know, don't have any information, you're just hoping. Or anything, whatever you like in life, whatever you want, whatever one wants in life, we are hoping we'll get it. We're hoping that will happen, hoping that person will come. So whatever, you're hoping, but there is no specific information that is going to happen. That's called asha, hope. And pratiksha is expectation. Expectation is there's something you want and you are expecting it to happen. Maybe your salary is due, or there's a guest who has, what is it called?
While we're talking about expectations, shout out to my AA crowd. Lower expectations equals higher serenity. Lower your expectations. Please. He's probably going to tell me differently right now, but that's what I would say.
When you say that I'm going to attend, RSVP, yes, RSVP. I was going to say RIP, that's rest in peace, not RSVP. So when the guest has RSVP'd, he's going to come, he or she is going to come, or some money is due to you, or the new Apple phone is being released. You know for sure it's going to happen, and you're just waiting for it to happen. Something very nice. That is called pratiksha, expectation. So nice distinction between hope and expectation. We sort of knew all this. I mean, it's sometimes in these commentaries, you get answers to questions you never asked, and no answers to questions which you want to know the answers to. So anyway, cute distinction.
Hope and expectations, they're almost the same thing. I mean, let's think about it. If you're hoping something, you're kind of expecting it. So it kind of seems like hope and expectation are almost the same thing. Sorry, I couldn't think of what I was going to say. Yeah. Hope, expectations. Let's see where this goes. Shut up, Wes.
Between hope and expectation. But the dark thing is, these are lost. What you hope for won't happen if you have neglected the guest. What was expected to happen, you are sure good things are going to come to you, won't happen if you have neglected the guest. If you have been, you have been arrogant.
So y'all better take care of your guests better than you take care of yourselves. I think it goes along with love somebody that you don't like as well, because you don't have to like your guest, but you gotta love them. Take care of them. Shut up, Wes.
Or neglectful. Now remember, the Lord of Death, Yama, was not neglectful on purpose, only inadvertently. But still. Then Sangatam.
That's got to be pretty hardcore if death lets you down. I mean, that's the first person you want that lets you down, I would think.
So Sangatam, Shankaracharya here, he gives the meaning as the connection with the association with holy people. So the association with the holy, satsang, with a spiritual person, with a holy person, it has two kinds of benefits. One is the direct benefit that you get spiritual knowledge. You attend a Vedanta class or you ask questions and you get some knowledge out of it. But it's supposed to be very good karma. You see, this is something that is well understood in India and in all the Indian religions, in Hinduism, of course, but also Jainism and Buddhism and Sikhism also. That you go to a person you know to be saintly or holy, and quite apart from, above and beyond the knowledge that you gain from that visit, it's just good karma for you to be in the association with the holy. And there's a reason for that. In one of the Upanishads, it says, Atmagyam hi archayet bhuti kama, Mundaka Upanishad says, the enlightened one, the one who has realized the self or realized Brahman, you should approach such a one and serve this enlightened one, this saint, him or her. Who? The person who, even if you have worldly desires, even such a person. So this is well understood in India. So even a person who has no particular interest in Vedanta or spirituality, just wants good stuff in this world, or to overcome bad karma, or to go to heaven after death, that person would still, go to a Swami or a Mataji or somebody and bow down and offer gifts. The idea being, it's very good karma. The Upanishad says, do that, because such people have enormous good karma. These holy people, they have enormous good karma, which they will not use. Because what is good karma meant for? For getting pleasant stuff in this world and...
Bam. Just because you have your good karma meter full doesn't mean you need to use it. You may need to hold it over for the next life. I'm pretty sure karma carries over. And also, isn't Buddhism a sector of Hinduism? So it would be the same thing. He was just kind of just explaining them like they were different things. I mean, they obviously are, but I think from what I've learned so far, I could be wrong. Let me know in the comments if I'm wrong. I need the engagement anyways.
And for going to heaven after death, like Nachiketa's father was trying to do, perform a Vedic sacrifice which will generate lots of good karma.
By the way, this would never happen over here. If there's not a believer, he would never go to like a priest or something and offer up. Never. It would not happen here. Ever.
And then he goes to heaven afterwards. But so the holy ones, they have attained enlightenment, or they are seeking enlightenment. They don't want artha and kama, pleasures and wealth and power and success and status in this world. They don't even want it. Even if it was, they won't try for it. Even if it was offered to them, they won't take it. And they are not even interested in going to heaven after death. They want enlightenment and freedom. But then what happens to all the good karma they have? So Hindus are very worried about the calculus, the balance of karma. So the huge surplus of good karma, which they are not going to use. So it is said that, it's a strong belief that those who serve them, those who are close to them, those upon whom they are pleased, whom they bless, they get the benefit of that good karma. Why is it that the blessings of holy people are supposed to be effective? It's because of, they're very clear, the Hindu philosophers, it has to be somewhere.
It's another form of sacrifice. Life isn't all about you. I think the whole point of life is to serve others and, give yourself up for others to be happy. Sacrifice your joy to make other people happy.
Good karma is being used up. Where is that surplus coming from? It's that holy person's good karma, enormous amounts of good karma, which you get. And again, the warning here is you lose that. Another meaning of this Sangatam is the connection with the results of all your, religious and spiritual activity, which is Swarga Moksha. Those who want, doing a lot of rituals so that one goes to heaven after death, does not want moksha, but wants to go to heaven after death. So the connection with that result, you have done all what has to be needed, what's needed to be done, and so now you expect to go to heaven after death, won't happen. Why? Because you neglected the guest or you misbehaved with the guest. Mm-hmm. And also, for us, those who are here, we are interested in enlightenment and moksha, freedom. And that's our goal, spiritual liberation. nothing worldly. That also is blocked, and an obstruction comes up for that if one neglects the guests. So very strong warnings. Moksha phala, swarga phala, the result of heaven after death and the result of enlightenment and spiritual freedom, both are blocked. Then sunritam. Sunritam means good, literally means good speech, beneficial speech. So the speech that you have when you talk to a good person, a holy person, which is beneficial for you, those benefits, the benefit of that speech is lost. Speech is supposed to, even your own speech, which is supposed to be highly beneficial, if you, the rules are, the hitam cha, mitam cha, satyam cha, hitam cha, mitam cha. The benefits of truth speaking, the benefits of speaking, the beneficial thing. Like you're saying the truth and that which is helpful for others. And mitam. Mitam means limited. Don't speak too much. Also, it means sweet, not harsh. So it's a well-known saying in India.
I don't know why I think that's so funny. Don't say too much. The more you say, the more you can look stupid. I should take that advice, but I really don't care. I put my vulnerability out there. Humility is more important for your mental health than love is. And love is extremely important. So that should tell you how important humility is.
Satyam vada, and then sweet. Tell the truth. Yes. Priyam vada. Ma vada satyam apriyam. So it's a well-known saying. Tell the truth, tell that which is sweet, or tell it sweetly, and don't say something that is not, that is harsh. It may be true, but it's also harsh. I mentioned this earlier. I like this,
There's no need to hurt anybody's feelings, I guess is what he's saying. Even if you don't like the people. You still gotta love them, guys. We're kind of getting to that right here, I think. Maybe we're not. But love the people that you don't like, because you can't love yourself properly if you don't. Everybody that has been with me for a while is probably tired of hearing that, but I'm going to beat the hell out of it because people need to know. Every new person needs to hear it. And I will slap them upside of the head with it. You too. Y'all that have been here, I'm going to beat you to death with it. Love somebody that you don't like so you can love yourself properly. It's not the other way around.
Mark Twain, in one place he says, with his characteristic humor, he says that those who claim, they are very proud of that we like the brutal honesty or brutal truth. We like the brutal truth. Often, Mark Twain says, I have noticed they are more fond of the brutality than the truth.
If you want to call that fasting, but I don't go through periods of time where I fast and don't eat. What about you guys? What's your fasting ritual? Let me know what I should try in the comments. I need the engagement, guys.
So chanting of the Vedas, which is, the Vedas were divided according to family. So you had a branch of the Vedas which you're supposed to protect. Protect means read it, chant it regularly, and teach it to the next generation. So that's part of the Ishta. Adithyam. So taking care of the guest, notice, so it comes in here, honoring the guest. Vaishvadevam cha. So some certain sacrifices, for example, they required.
I wonder why they're so adamant about taking care of guests. Doesn't that seem kind of weird? It's kind of odd. I mean, I get it, but it's kind of a weird point to make, in my opinion.
You to take care of the environment, plants and animals and trees, and feed birds and dogs and cats and all. So all of the living beings, all of these together were known as Ishta. And you lose the fruits of all of this if you don't take care of the guest. Then what is the Purta, the other kind of activity? These are all said to be devotional or religious activities connected with the Vedas. Then there is a set of activities which are secular, which is for the welfare of society. Again, this is from the Atri Sanghita. What is meant by Purta? What activities? Vapi Kupa Tadagadi Devayatanani cha Anna Pradhanam Arama Purtam Ityabhidhiyate. So Vapi means like a big pond. And so you make a big pond at like a place which the people of the village or the town can use. You sponsor it, digging that big pond. Kupa is a well, digging a well. Taraga is a sort of in-between source of water. Not as small as a well, not as big as a big pond. But these are all sources of water. You can see how important water was to an agrarian civilization.
It's pretty important
a place
everywhere.
of worship, a house of worship. You make a house of worship.
I mean, we've been building like little canals since agriculture began. So yeah, I'm sure it's the same in India. Agriculture made us settle down and stop being hunters and gatherers, and here we are today in cities and towns and villages and whatnot. Look at us, all grown up and sophisticated.
Anna, offer food to the hungry. Upavana, etc.
Speaking about that, right now in the United States, we're going through some problems where our government isn't even working, and people have lost food stamps. And this reminds me of that, of helping people. In all kinds of neighborhoods, there's little food pantries popping up where you can add or take if you need, and I think that is a beautiful, wonderfully poetic thing that's happening right now. In the face of hard, bad times, there's always a positive you can find, and there is an example right there.
Like make a park, or like donate to a park. You can see all of that, in any good society. Right here, if you see all the volunteer activities, the charity activities. Right now, you're right here. You have the Central Park, for example. How much of it is maintained by the donations of charitable people? How much of it depends on the volunteer activity of so many people working, in teams and cleaning up the place? So all of this is called purta, which goes to maintaining a healthy society. Again, we lose all the benefits of this, the good karma from all the purta, by neglecting the guest.
My point with that was, like, you can do all kinds of other shit, negative shit, and not lose karma, but you can kind of not do other bad shit and just mistreat a guest, and you're in the same spot. So it's kind of weird.
Then what else is there? One more point I'd like to point out here is the importance of the guest. So that's another thing. It's just a little bit of a tangent, but it's a big thing in Indian civilization. Indians, even till today, are known for their hospitality, but this goes way back from ancient times. There was a great stress on taking care of the atiti, and the word atiti is very interesting. It means literally without appointment. So someone who drops in on you. Tithi means a particular date. There's no particular date he's coming. I mean, he's just this.
Just taking care of travelers. Travelers are important.
This person visits you, of course, with an appointment or without an appointment, but a guest. Couple of quotations. This is from the Manu Sanghita. Sampraptaya tu atitaye pradadyat asanaudake. So when the guest comes, immediately offer a seat and offer water. Annam chaiva yathashakti satkritya vidhipurvakam. Honor the guest, satkritya, as like whatever the protocol of the formalities are for that particular kind of guest. And then offer food, yathashakti, up to your capacity, whatever you can offer, you should offer food to the guest. The Manu Sanghita says, Sarvam Sukritam adatte Brahmanor anarchito vasan. So all of this, all the good things that you do are lost if a guest, an honored guest like a Brahmin guest, for example, comes to your house and is not honored, is not taken care of. So everything is lost. So this sort of, you can see it's in line with what the Lord of Death, Yama, is saying. And the Manu Samhita backs this up. It's also in the Vedas. Here's a quotation from the Atharva Veda, which says that one should not eat before the guest has eaten. So the best things that you have, offer it to the guest. Tasmat purvo nashniyat. Before the guest has eaten, before the guest has been offered the best that you have, do not eat yourself. Manu Samhita also says, Atithi stu.
Selfless. Sacrifice your happiness for other people's happiness. Love the people you don't like. Slap it upside your head. Whack!
Indralokesha. The guest is verily the dweller of the world of Indra, or the lord of the world of Indra, which is Indra, the god, lord of the gods. So that kind of honor is given to the guest. Okay. That's a lot about the Atithi, about the guest.
It was a lot. It's kind of weird.
What else has been said here? So Ishta and Purta are lost. Putra Pashungscha Sarvan. Children and cattle. Why cattle? Cattle was wealth in those days. All of these are lost. Not literally. You may not literally lose your kids or your cattle, but just that things don't go well for the family, for your property and all of that. Etad vringte. The word vringte means set aside, but literally it means here lost. So the technical, the etymology will here mean it's lost. For whom? Purushasya alpa.
And for my Westerners, it doesn't have to be a physical loss. Everything has to be materialistic. We don't have to have something physical always. There's a lot of metaphysical things that we overlook over here because it seems spooky. But let's bridge that gap, guys.
For that man, for that person who is of low intelligence. So it's an intelligent person who takes care of the guest. At this point, we'll say, okay, we got the point. The guest is king, our guest is queen. We got it. Now, by this time, the Lord of Death must be thoroughly frightened.
I don't think we've even got to Mantra 9 yet. He went over 8, which was just a review, and I don't think we've hit 9 yet. Maybe we did. I talked too much. Sorry.
Because the guest has been ignored and he's going to lose everything.
It's hard to retain the info when my attention isn't 100% locked on. I'm thinking of things to say and stuff. So it's hard to retain fully. So if we have gone over Mantra 9, I apologize. But I don't think we have. Let's get it.
Now. So he comes and he speaks now in the mantra number 9.
Here we go.
So now he's speaking. Death is speaking to the boy Nachiketa. Tisro ratrir yadavatsir grihe me anashnan brahman atithir namasya namaste astu brahman swasti mestu tasmat pratitrin varan vrinishva. O Brahmin, since you have lived in my house for 3 nights without food, a guest and an adorable person as you are, let my salutations be to you, and let good accrue to me by averting the fault arising from that lapse. Ask for 3 boons, one in respect of each night, that means each day and night which you have spent at my doorstep.
So wait, you get punished for the guest turning down the kindness? I mean, that shouldn't happen, right? I mean, if the guest turns it down, you're still offering. I mean,
so notice he uses the word Brahman, O Brahmin, twice. So it's showing how much respect he has for the little boy who is waiting. So Yama, you can imagine, Lord of Death must be a very impressive personality. And here is just this little boy who's not even 10 years old. Somebody told me something very interesting yesterday, that it seems child psychology is one of the things that they have come upon is children at the age of 7 or 8 is the first time they become aware of mortality or death. The concept becomes understandable.
Okay.
Sometimes children get traumatized by the first understanding of that possibility, what death actually means. I don't know whether a child cannot understand it before that, or but anyway, 7 or 8. It's very interesting that Nachiketa is 7 or 8 years. That's been mentioned there. And the question he's going to the house of death, and the question he's going to ask is about death. What happens after death? What's the whole secret of death? Interesting connection.
That is.
So he has waited 3 nights. Tisro Ratri. He have waited 3 nights. Brahman Natithi. O guest, O you Brahmin boy. Namasya, you are. Namaste. I offer you my salutation. Swasti me astu. Let good fortune attend to me. So swasti, normally the word used in Sanskrit, swasti means good fortune. So good karma, good fortune, that is symbolized by swasti. Here it means, one of the derivative meanings by a commentator is, swasti means avinasha, non-destruction. Non-destruction of what? Non-destruction of all my good karma. So he knows the problem is that I stand to lose a lot because I've neglected you. Unless you are happy, unless I can make you happy, I'd stand to lose a lot. So let me not lose that. This is what he has good fortune. He is the Lord of Death. He is enormously powerful, but that he does not want to lose. Tasma prati trin varan vrinishva. So he offers him, this is a famous part of the story where he offers him 3 boons. I want to make up. So 3 nights and 3 days you have spent at my door in utter neglect. So, and I didn't intend that to happen, but still it happened. So I'm going to make up for that by offering thee 3 boons. Ask what you want. Whatever you want, I'll fulfill it. He's enormously powerful. Yama is still one of the...
He's like a genie. Granting 3 wishes. Look at old God of Death being cool.
Gods with a small g, but one of the most powerful gods. Like Indra, the king of the gods, Agni, the god of fire, Varuna, the god of water on the ocean. And
God with a capital G is the collective, right? The one. That's the capital G. And the other deities are lowercase. And in this case, that is the god of death, which isn't the capital G god. It's a lowercase god. I think that's what he was talking about. If I'm wrong, let me know in the comments. I need the engagement.
And Vayu, the god of air. Yama is another very powerful, one of the principal, like cabinet secretaries or something like that. So he can offer 3 boons. A little, again, a little tangent at this point. Something, it struck my memory. It just came up. Years ago, in Calcutta, in the Institute of Culture, this very noted scholar, Pandit, traditional Pandit. So he asked, sort of rhetorically, I think, that what more did Vivekananda say, or what new idea did he give about the service of humanity? It's all there in Ishtapurta, the words which we used. So the traditional Vedic teaching of the Ishta, the Vedic rites and the service of guests and so on, all those things we read about, plus the Purta, all the secular do-good activities in society. You take care of society, make sure people are comfortable, you give in charity. That's it. It's all there. So when Swami Vivekananda says you serve the poor and all that, what new thing? I mean, what is this big thing you all means we monks in the Ramakrishna mission, we make about Swami Vivekananda's karma yoga on? He was a philosopher, so he says, philosophically, what's new? Philosophically, practically, what's new? Both as an idea and in its effect. What is so revolutionary? It's all there thousands of years ago, even before the Upanishads. In the Karma Kanda, in the ritualistic portion of the Vedas, it's all well set out and nicely codified, and people practiced it. There are these big movements in the idea of spiritualizing work. So one is all these do-good activities, this charity, this philanthropy, which was there for the benefit of all. And this would give you good karma. Remember, the motive was you get a lot of good karma out of it and you go to heaven, or your life is much better because of it. That was the motive. And this was a kind of personal charity that you would do as your religious duty, and depending upon the wealth that you have. That was one idea. What Krishna did much later in the Bhagavad Gita, when he taught Arjuna, he says, not charity. All your activities, if you want enlightenment, moksha, God realization, now what do you do with your life? The old Vedic idea was that as long as you're a householder, be a devout Vedic householder, and yes, you will do good, you'll take care of your own life and do good to society. How do you do good? These things, Ishtapurta, charity, philanthropy. That was the idea. And if you want to become enlightened, free of the entire cycle of birth and death, free of the whole thing, then give up all that Ishtapurta and all of that. Give up the worldly pursuits, give up other worldly pursuits. Don't try to go to heaven.
I love giving way more than receiving. It's way more satisfying, gratifying. I would give my last penny to somebody else if they were in need, because that's just how I roll. If I got it, you got it.
Heaven also. Become an ascetic, a spiritual seeker, and go to the master, learn the Upanishads, Shravana, Manana, Nididhyasana, very austere life of total renunciation, and engage in study and listening to the teachings of Vedanta, then reason upon it, and then once you have understood it, stay with it in deep, consistent, long meditation upon it till you become enlightened and you're free. What about the philanthropy and the do-good activities, the charity? Now see, what happens is, you can't do it because you've given up all the means to do charity, and anyway, that's a distraction. Now notice, so there's a very clear distinction between karma kanda, the ritualistic portion, the activities of a householder, be a devout, good householder. And if you want more than that, give up the whole thing and become monk or monk-like and go all out for enlightenment through Vedanta.
That's where
what Krishna
that's where I'm at right now. I'm ready to give away everything and live that monk life. Who's with me? Let me know in the comments.
Said to Arjuna was revolutionary. He said, you continue to be, this transition is internal. It's not an external thing. It's not that you actually give up your activities, your family, the world way of life. You may or you may not. But what is essential is you must transform the whole paradigm of what you are doing. The Vedic ritualist has the paradigm of, I am this individual, I'm trying to live the best possible life I can. Let me live an honorable life, a moral life, be good here and go to heaven after death. Yes, I'll come back again, but I'll keep ensuring that I have a good ride because I've got good karma. And the other one was, no, all of this is something.
Are there any good rides on this planet? I don't think there is. I don't think there's one good one. They're all hellish, in my opinion. I'm sure you agree. Life kicks the shit out of all of us.
Samsara. It's good samsara, but still samsara. Swami Vivekananda said, chains though of gold are not less strong to bind. Then off with them. Say Om Tat Sat Om. Off with them, sannyasi board. Oh monk, cut those chains. Even the good ones. Good ones, good work. Vedic ritualism, Ishtapurta, all of that. Krishna said, this transformation has to be internal. Oh Arjuna, you were seeking the kingdom. That's why you have come to fight this battle. You were seeking to punish the wrongdoers. You were seeking revenge for what had been done to Draupadi. All of that, notable, good, but worldly goals. Good, moral, but worldly goals. Now you say, I don't want to fight. I don't want the kingdom. What is the point of a kingdom for which I have to kill my relatives? And Arjuna says that it's soaked in the blood of my relatives. How would I enjoy it anyway? So Krishna says, fine, Here is the old Upanishadic idea of enlightenment. In the second chapter of the Gita, Krishna just talks entirely about the Upanishadic idea of enlightenment. You will see sometimes he quotes from the Katha Upanishad here in the Gita. Now Arjuna's idea would be, okay, I've heard of this earlier. So that means I don't want to be a warrior anymore. I don't want to be a prince, a father. I don't want to be a person in society. I'm going to go off and become a monk and search for enlightenment. And Krishna says, stop. There is another way. You continue to be what you are and transform your activities, whatever activities you are doing, from karma into karma yoga. Karma yoga is transforming our actions, our daily actions, in the family, in the office, in your workplace, in community. Instead of doing it for good karma and good life here and going to heaven, now you do it for Vedanta, for enlightenment. How will that help? That will prepare the mind, build the character.
So you're being selfishly selfless, kind of. I like that.
And only Vedanta works. The qualifications which Vedanta insists on, high moral and ethical qualifications, discipline of the mind, all of that comes from Karma Yoga. So Krishna says, transform your activities into Karma Yoga. You don't have to give up all that. You can still be in the midst of all activities and family and all of.
So we don't have to give up everything. You just gotta stop doing it to go to heaven and doing it to become an enlightened person, probably so you can spread the joy, spread the light, teach the next generation, keep the ball rolling.
That and become a Vedantin and become enlightened too. Change is necessary, renunciation is necessary, but Krishna moves it inwards, psychological. So now what becomes of karma? Karma is all your daily activities, not just a little bit of philanthropy or some little rituals. All your daily activities, which you might have earlier considered secular, all of that now becomes spiritualized. The goal is purification of mind. I do all these activities as worship of God. So that is Karma Yoga taught by Krishna. You can see it's a radical rethinking of what action is. In the way that it was more clear cut, the action portion and the knowledge portion.
Faith without works is dead. You got to put in the work, guys. Put in the work. Manifestation's biggest enemy is procrastination. Stop procrastinating. And I should be taking my own advice because I procrastinate probably more than you do.
And it sort of followed. Though the Vedas did not say that openly, but it sort of followed. You would have two different kinds of life. There would be a householder life, there would be a monastic life.
If this is your first video, I did a video on the Vedas as well, which the Upanishads are a part of, to my understanding. I could be wrong. If I'm wrong, let me know in the comments. I need the engagement anyways.
That's why sort of monastic life was at that time open for everybody, and everybody was expected, if you want moksha, you would become a monk. Krishna said you have to become monk-like. Renunciation is important. It's not exactly that you have to give up your status or your duties as a warrior. Do that now as a worship of God. Spiritualize your daily life. Spiritualize your daily activities, even the so-called secular activities. Now, notice one thing. So this is all in context of what that scholar told me. How is Vivekananda revolutionary? Notice already from the Vedas to Krishna, a huge transformation, a paradigm shift has happened. Not just a few rituals, not just a few acts of philanthropy, but all your activities in the day. Your family, your job, your community, all those activities are now spiritual acts. I'm worshipping my Lord through those acts. Okay. Now fast forward to Vivekananda, 19th century. How is that a further advance over Krishna's Karma Yoga, Vivekananda's Karma Yoga? So with the Vivekananda's Karma Yoga follows from Sri Ramakrishna, Shiva Jnana Jiva Seva. Service to all sentient beings, knowing them to be Shiva, knowing that Jiva is Shiva. All living beings are that ultimate reality. Just now, I was walking in Central Park. So one of these persons I know who hangs out there, he has this little dog. And so once in a while, he catches me with a philosophical question. So as I was just coming out of the park, just about 1 hour ago, he caught me and he said, Swami, this little fellow, his little chihuahua, I think, this little fellow, does he have thoughts and feelings? Does he have awareness? I said, yes. He's a sentient being just like us. There were almost tears in his eyes. I said, thank you, Swami. We know that we appreciate you. So I have this interesting set of friends there in the park. Some of them are the last of the hippies. Some of them are.
I've never been. I've seen pictures. It looks wonderful, but not for me. I don't know. Travel is not for me anymore, at least. It's a pain in the ass when you're physically disabled. Pain in the ass. Give me a VR headset, and I'm good.
They spend all day singing Beatles songs there in the strawberry field, and all sorts of people. Some of them are also high, and that's another thing altogether. So you have a whole assorted set. But so all sentient beings they are not just individual little beings. They're all Shiva, and I'm worshipping Shiva through my acts. The acts, what are acts?
That's why you gotta love the people that you don't like. This is touching on it right here. We're all a part of the same machine. That person that you hate is another version of yourself. That's why it falls back on you. If you have that kind of feelings for somebody else, you're going to have that feeling for yourself at the end of the day. You can try to pretend that you don't, but you do. You do. We know it. We know what you think when you're looking in the mirror, guys. You're not fooling anybody.
Service to sentient beings, especially service to humanity. Now, how is this more than what Krishna said? It's not just your daily activities. It is not just as a method of purifying your mind. Rather, it will purify your mind, and all your daily activities are included, but much more than that. It is service to humanity at large, even all sentient beings at large. Something beyond your daily activities. So, for example, transforming society. Swami Vivekananda said, the two great sins of India, the neglect of, the oppression of the masses and the neglect of women. Now, transforming society, a better, more just, more equitable society, that is not part of your daily round of duties. That's not what Krishna was talking about when he talked to Arjuna. Arjuna says, whatever your duties are, do them as worship of God. And the Vedic idea of Ishtapurta was, among all your duties, one part of it is rituals, another part of it is charity. Plus, you have many secular stuff, a lot of secular stuff to do. So you can see the changes in paradigm. You have a duty to, you have a, your service to the whole of society. So a society free of the iniquities of caste or race.
Yeah, it just grows. At first, it's just take care of your guests. And eventually gets up to take care of all of humanity. Which is the same as taking care of your guests at the end of the day.
Or gender, a society where all your actions are rendered up as worship to the divine in all beings. That's the attitude. It's an even more powerful karma yoga than what Krishna had taught. And certainly that was itself a huge advance over the Ishtapurta which is mentioned in the Vedas. Further, one more point and I'll move ahead. What Swami Vivekananda was saying is actually the expression of an enlightened person. See, when Krishna teaches Arjuna, when the Buddha teaches humanity, Christ teaches humanity, are they teaching in order to purify their own? First of all, are they teaching so that they can go to heaven? They don't care for the temporary heavens. So it's not like the Ishtapurta idea, not for good karma. Or is it like Krishna's karma yoga, where you are doing that as a preparation for Vedantic knowledge, as a purification of the mind to inculcate selflessness and discipline? No. Krishna and Christ and Shankara and Ramakrishna, Buddha, they're already enlightened. They are far beyond that. So why are they serving humanity? Why are they doing good to humanity? It's an expression of their enlightenment. They see the oneness. They cannot do otherwise. It's an that love, that compassion that comes for everybody is an expression of their enlightenment.
The light is just pouring out of you. So that's what happens, I guess, when you become spiritually enlightened. It just your flesh bag can't hold in the light, and it just shines right out of that third eye.
It's not something they're doing as a practice for their own benefit, even spiritual benefit. Now that attitude, Sri Ramakrishna would call it the attitude of a Vijnani. That can also be practiced by us even before enlightenment. That becomes the philosophy now. So it's a vaster, much broader idea of Karma Yoga. Here Karma Yoga becomes an expression of enlightenment. It becomes the same as Jnana Yoga then. Okay, let's stop there. I didn't say it in all these details to that Pandit. He would have been annoyed. But this is my answer to that Pandit who told me, what is the advance of Vivekananda over Ishtaputta mentioned in the Vedas? This is the advance. Moving on. So he offers 3 boons. Now Nachiketa speaks to Yama. This is a famous part of the dialogue, where Yama offers 3 boons and Nachiketa asks the first one, the second one, and the third one. Before I read out the verse, the mantra, notice the 3 boons of Nachiketa. If you take a big picture, look at it, everybody concentrates on the third one. The third one is that about Atman, where the whole teaching about Vedanta starts. That's why people get impatient. No, hurry it up. It's just the story. When is Vedanta going to start? But the story is very good. It teaches many things. But if you look at the first, second, and third boons, the first boon is that, let me go back home, and when I go back home, my father will recognize me. Let my father be fine. He wants his father not to be angry with him. It's very cute. For as you can see that he's a little boy. He's very worried that his father is mad at him. That's the first thing he asks. The second thing he asks is, what's the best?
Yeah, this is why we start to change who we are. We get domesticated as kids, basically. When you're a baby, you can do no wrong in anybody's eyes. It's just love, joy, and play. Until one day you get too close to that coffee table and your mother or father scolds you and tells you to not get near it because they don't want you to get hurt. But you take that rejection hard. And this is when you start to change who you are in order to please other people. This is all in the Toltec tradition, which are the shamans of the Mayan culture. They're all about unconditional love. Shout out Don Miguel Ruiz Jr. Y'all go check out Mastery of Love and Mastery of Self. Shut up, Wes.
Possible fire ritual, Karma Kanda, the whole karma portion of the Vedas, which he sees his father and his all the people in his community, they are very busy performing these rituals. So show me, like a little boy, the best one. I want the best. Teach me what's the best one. The third one is about Atman, enlightenment. Now, if you look at it, take the big picture, exactly what has he done? He has asked for something in this world about his parents, about his family, and to settle the problems there. He has asked for something in the next world, how to go to heaven after death, and the best possible heaven. And finally, he has asked for enlightenment and moksha, freedom. Basically, he has covered all the bases. Whatever one could ask for, but in a very enlightened way. In the worldly sense, he is just worried about his father, and that's it. Doesn't want anything for himself but his father. Let my father be happy with me again. That's a big thing for a kid. And then heaven. What all these grown-ups are worried about, going to heaven. Let me go to heaven. That's also great. And third, the ultimate question: what's all this? What's the point of it? What's going on here? What is the secret of death, of life and death? I want to know that. So that's the big picture. The first boon, verse number 10, mantra number 10. Shanta sankalpa sumana yatha syat vitamanyur gautamo mabhimrityu tvat prasrishtam mabhivadet pratita. Etat trayanam pratamam varam rine. O death, of the three boons, I ask this one as the first, namely that my father, Gautama, may become free from anxiety, calm of mind, freed from anger towards me, and he may recognize me and talk to me when freed.
Because he wants the reward and not the punishment. He's changing who his true self really is in real time. We're seeing it as we go. I wonder if they call him out on it. Probably not, because he's becoming who he's supposed to be, and he is very enlightened. So,
By you. What a kid. See, he is quite innocently. Notice how many things he has packed into one boon. If you actually count, he says, first and most important, he just takes it for granted. I'm going back home. What you would be scared about when you say go to the house of death is that that's it. My life is over. I'm dying. It doesn't even seem to occur to him. He's so innocent about it. He's not even asking that reverse death. Let me go back to life. He says, when you send me back home, I'm not going to go back. You are going to send me back home. So I'm going to go back home. That's of course given. You can see Yama smiling, a little smile on his lips, the twinkle in his eyes when he hears all this. And so many other things. The ask is very big. My father, let him be freed of anxiety. So the commentator says, what kind of anxiety? His father must be sad. His father's mind must be a mixture of anger and misery and anxiety. What's that little boy doing? How is he faring in the house of death, in the land of death? So let him be free of anxiety till the point I go back. Of course, he'll see me, but before that, right now, let him relax. Let his mind be set at ease. That's one, if you count that way. And then let him become calm. That is, this is, the Sanskrit word is sumana, a wholesome mind, a serene mind, free of anxiety, happy mind. Let's put it this way, happy mind. Then Vidamanyu, free of anger. He's worried about that one because dad was mad at me the last time I saw him. So let him not be angry with me. And then the next one, that he may recognize me when I go back. So another thing occurs to him. If I go back and doesn't recognize me, that's no good, because he might think I am a ghost. So, and all of this is supplied by the sub commentators. One commentator says, come back from dead. He looks like our son, and so he must be a ghost. When we were kids, we had comics, American comics. Those were expensive to come by, but we had stuff like Batman, Superman, but there was also another one, Casper. It was the friendly ghost. So his dad might get scared, that this boy must be a ghost. So to take care of that, he asks Yama, the Lord of Death, to fix that. Don't let him think I'm a ghost. Let him recognize me.
I think the summary of this is, don't be afraid of death, because when you go, he might not even be home. She might not even be home. So don't be so worried about it. I think that's the moral of this part.
And let him talk to me nicely, as he used to talk to me earlier. Let him be nice to me. Notice how many, I was just sitting and counting. First of all, freed from death and go back home. And that also death has to arrange. See, he came on his own, but he has to be sent back by death. So death has to pay for his flight back. That's one. And that's taken for granted. The second one is that my father, let him be peaceful right now. Let him be free of anxiety. Third one is, let him be happy in mind. The fourth one is, let his anger towards me go. And the fifth one is, let him recognize me. Let him not think that I'm a ghost. And the sixth one is, let him talk to me nicely, like the way he used to earlier.
Damn, so he piled up 6 wishes in one. That's a way to do it. If a genie asks you for 3 wishes, just make those 3 wishes paragraphs.
So all of this, and Nachiketa quite innocently, without the slightest hesitation, he thinks it's one boon. And so there is a saying in Bengali, Shonar Pathor Bati, which is a golden stone plate and bowls. So you can't have a stone and a gold plate. But both, you want both. It's like the story goes, there was a man who prayed to God, and Shiva appears before him and says, I'll give you a boon. What do you want? One boon. And the man said, I want to eat a hearty meal on gold plates with my grandchildren.
Okay, so you don't do it what I was just saying. Don't do it. Because you can't, apparently.
Which means he is going to be married and have children and have grandchildren, live long enough to have grandchildren, and be healthy enough to eat a hearty meal and be rich enough to have golden plates, all of that in one boon. So Nachiketa accomplished something like this there. And you can just imagine the twinkle in Yama's eyes, when he grants it. And Nachiketa makes it very clear, this is the first boon. The other boons are not used up yet. Only one, I'm using up only one for all of this. Then Death says, Yatha purastad bhavita pratita audyalaki raruni matrasrishta sukham ratri shaitavita manyu tvam dadrishavan mrityumukhat pramuktam. Having recognized you, Auddalaki Aruni will be possessed of affection just as he had before. Seeing you freed from the jaws of death, he will get over his anger and will, with my permission, sleep happily for many a night. So he grants all of that. Whatever you asked for, everything. Your father will relax. You will go back from death, and he'll recognize you. He'll be delighted to see you that you're back from death. He will love you just like he loved you earlier. All his anger will be gone. All of that, done. You get all of what you asked for.
Who?
Just a little, completely unnecessary, but because the commentators wrangle over it. Notice the names keep shifting. So his father's name was Vajasravasa. In the earlier mantra, his name is my father Gautama. Now they had different names. Each person, especially the esteemed ones, it was prestigious to have multiple names. So it's quite possible his name was Vajasravasa because he was the son of Vajasrava, and his own name, his father's, Nachiketa's father's own name was Gautama. But then this gets worse. In this mantra, you have two more names, Auddalaki Aruni, all referring to Nachiketa's father. Now, this gets a bit too much. That's 4 names already. So what's going on here? Shankaracharya gives some explanations, and they're complicated ones. And sub-commentators give some explanation. All of it is not pertinent to us, but I'll just give you a sample of what's going on here. It also gives an insight into the Vedic culture of these people. So, the complicated answer is, there is a term Shankaracharya uses, Dvayamushyayana, which means a person who can claim descent from 2 lineages. Why would this happen? The crucial thing is, a very important ritual for Hindus even today is the Pindadana. So when ancestors pass away, fathers, mothers, grandparents, great-grandparents, you are supposed to offer a ritual. In the ritual to your ancestors, a rice ball is offered. That's called a pinda. So that's very important. And why is that important? The belief is that this helps the departed ancestors to attain to higher worlds. So you would want your son, and ritualistically it was the son who was supposed to perform these rituals, not the daughter. Although nowadays even daughters can do it. I have seen it being done. So it's important that you have a son, and that son does this ritual for you when you're dead and gone. So it's Pindadana. Now imagine a person who does not have a son, but has a daughter. Now, one arrangement they used to make was, when this daughter gets married, and if she has a son, then the arrangement would be that son would not only offer the rice ball, the pinda, for his father, that is the daughter's husband, his son-in-law, but also for the daughter's father. So he would act ritualistically as the son for the daughter's father and also for the daughter and her husband.
Bridging the gap, like we're trying to do.
So it's like having two lineages, one coming from the mother's side, the father there, and one his own father. Okay, how does this all help us? This helps us because now we have two lineages here, Audalaki Aruni. So, and all this is about Nachiketa's father. So Nachiketa's father, his father would have been Uddalaka, and his mother's father might have been Aruna, the Rishi Aruna. Although another interpretation is his mother will be Aruna. So one of these possibilities. So if that sounds all complicated, doesn't mean much. It just is struggling to explain why there's such a variety of names for Nachiketa's father, who is anyway a sort of side player for the whole story. So Uddalaki Aruni, because Nachiketa's father might be one such case where the agreement was he would not only offer the sacred rice balls for his mother and father when they pass, but also for his mother's father. So two lineages are in him. All right. So that was the first boon. And Nachiketa gets a very good deal, I think. He gets whatever he wants. All those demands are satisfied.
Kind of found a loophole. He's not only a smart spiritual boy, but he's smart logically. Street smarts. Only a street smart person would do that. Pack a paragraph into one wish.
Let me quickly look at the comments. So Rick says he had a near-death experience. Yes, today we might call it that, an NDE, a near-death experience. And Punita, beyond death experience. Oh, beyond, okay, BY. Being shared with us.
BDE.
Shubhadeep says Yama, who is supposed to be an enlightened person, bothered about losing his good karma. I guess not, but it's a part of the story. Don't ask too much, it'll ruin the story. Or he just might be setting a good example. Just might be setting a good example for the rest of us. Don't neglect the guest. And again, Yama himself, he's enlightened because he will teach the truth about the Atman, about the self. But then all these concerns were raised by his family. So maybe he doesn't want his family to suffer. So Yama has also a wife and he has got a family, or he has a kingdom. He has this whole department to run, the Department of Death. He doesn't want its budget to be slashed. God with the capital G might slash the budget for the Department of Death. He's quite the bureaucrat. So he's protecting his...
He might just shut down the operation and say, F all y'all. We're not even going to work when we're supposed to be representing you. What does this sound like? Oh yeah, our government right now. Come on, guys. Get your shit together. It's ridiculous. You're embarrassing us.
His bureaucratic empire. Yes. Good. All right. I think that's enough for today, because the next question takes us to an entirely different level, where we take a quick look at this entire field, this entire this culture of Vedic sacrifices.
Ooh.
So although this is an Upanishad, it's supposed to be beyond the limits of Vedic sacrifices. We've gone beyond that, but you can see how the Upanishads are solidly set in the Vedic culture of those times. The terms are there, as people follow those, have those beliefs, the practices are the same, and people still want that. Even Nachiketa asks for the secret of the best kind of Vedic sacrifice. All right, Prayashchit comes to mind. Prayashchit?
Hopefully it's not another human. That's where sacrifices get very weird. Physical sacrifices are super weird to me. Spiritual sacrifices or metaphysics sacrifices is where you want to be. That's giving away your last penny. That type of deal. Be in service to others.
In what sense?
For neglecting the guests?
Yes. So for neglecting the guest, that he might be feeling bad about. He may not be particularly concerned about good karma or bad karma, but yes, he has neglected the guest and he wants to atone for that. So prayashchitta are the acts of atonement.
So the Vedic rites are related to prayashchit, isn't it?
There are Vedic rites of various kinds. There are nitya karma, daily rites to be done, like Agnihotra, daily rituals, which are part.
Let's put this in the context of loving other people. I forgot my point. I'll remember in a second.
There are prayashchitta karmas, which are atonement rites. So if one feels that one has, or if one knows that one has.
Yeah, even if you didn't hurt your guest or other person directly, you indirectly hurt them, and you still need to make up for that indirect hurt. Is basically, let's put that into human connection terms. So even if you indirectly hurt somebody, you got to still go and patch it up. I forget what I was going to say.
Has committed sins or mistakes or lapses. One might go through those rituals to atone for that. And they are karmya karmas. There are specific rituals which will help you to satisfy specific desires. Some of them might be worldly, wealth and rainfall and children curing a disease, all of that in this world, going to heaven, and a selection of heavens were available to you. You can go to the Bahamas or to the Hawaii or to Fiji. So a selection of heaven.
Where would you go? What would your heaven be? Mine would probably be right here where I'm sitting, because I try to make it a beautiful physical and metaphysical place here. You can come and be loved. No judgment here on this channel.
Only places are available to you. That also depends upon the kind of ritual you perform. So there are different kinds of ritual. Beyond all of this was enlightenment, God realization. All right. Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Tat Sat Shri Rama Krishna Rupanamastu.
All right. If you made it this far, you are super awesome, and I love you, and I really, really appreciate the support. I hope you're on a spiritual journey with me. If you are, let's build that karma meter up, and so you can share it with other people. You don't need to worry about having it yourself. That's where I'm headed. My karma meter reset with a stroke. I almost died. My old self died, basically. And now I'm trying to build my karma meter up so I can let other people feed off of it. And I think that's where we all need to go. And that was the moral of this episode of these Monsters 9 through 11. So far, it's a beautiful story. Lots of lessons to be learned. I think the biggest one would be to have faith and be in service to others. And just represent the moral truth, guys. Just be morally correct. I think that's what we're getting here. Alright. Okay, well, thank you again. Please consider supporting the channel if you can. I am unemployable with no income, so anything helps. You can subscribe to my Patreon. You can buy a t-shirt maybe, or some kind of merch. My Cash App is in the description. Everything's in the description. If you can help out, I would truly appreciate it. It would mean the world to me. I have zero income. Now, I do get disability, but half of it gets garnished for child support from the first half of my life. So, I'm living with the consequences still. I know I'm going to have to live with them until I die. Anyways, I love you. Go love somebody you don't like. And I will see you guys the next time. And it's going to be mantras 12 through 15. And that will be out next Friday. Alright. See you guys later. See you on the next one. Go love somebody you don't like.